what a start to this game.
3-0 inside 10 minutes. This could be whatever Celtic want it to be.
And the night does not get any better for the visitors.
Celtic 7, Hamilton 0.
Have a listen to this for a scoreline.
It is Celtic 8, Hamilton Academical 1.
From our point of view, that's not acceptable. If I'm going to stay doing the job, I need to make sure that I get more than what I'm getting just now. We need to make sure we bounce back from this.
Hammered Accies. Martin Canning should have been celebrating a year as manager this weekend. Instead, he's had to rebuild shattered egos. Hamilton have just one win in their last 14 Premiership games. Hearts' form is a mirror image of Accies. They've lost just one league game in 14 and have just hit 6 goals past Motherwell, their biggest win in the top flight for 15 years. If you're on the move today, you can watch the Ladbrokes Premiership action on laptop, tablet and mobiles using Sky Go. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy it in glorious high definition on Sky Sports 3 HD. The Hearts look really secure in third place, with Ross County now the closest side to them. Only goal difference keeps Hamilton away from the playoff spot and Kilmarnock, but a win would move Accies up to 8th. Expect goals today. There were 15 of them in Hamilton and Hearts' most recent games. But of course, in football, it's never really as simple as that. And that's what makes it the greatest game of all. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Neil McCann here at New Douglas Park. Well, Neil, was that 8-1 defeat a freak result, or have Hamilton been building up to it?
I think it's a freak result in terms of you don't see many margins of a defeat like that. 8-1 is a real sore one for Martin Canning. And I've looked at it again, David, and there's the 13 games from the start of the season. If you split the games they've played in all competitions now, they've only conceded 16 goals. Now the 12 after that, they've conceded 35. So there's been something happening there, and 4 against Annan, of course the 8 against Celtic, so there's something wrong. And when I looked at the team, I'm thinking maybe they've changed around. They've not. Michael McGovern in goal. There's 3 of the back 4 have been virtually ever present, so they're pretty settled. So you have to ask yourself why. Is it the front players? Is it the guys in front that are not doing enough protection when they don't have the ball? Are they not pressing the ball hard enough in higher areas? We know Hearts are doing that now and getting big results from it. But it's something that Martin Canning has to address, and he has to do it quickly because, yeah, they've got a chance now to jump the table, but they're in a precarious position. And the continuation of bad form, conceding goals, lack of confidence will only drag them into that relegation dogfight. What
do you think Martin Canning will have had to deal with then in the last few days, the aftermath, if you like, of Celtic Park?
Well, what he'll have to deal with is a severe downer in confidence, even furthermore. What I would like to think he's dealt with is angry characters. Boys coming out of the dressing room saying, that won't happen again. There's no way that's going to happen against Hearts. We're going to put it right. They trained hard, worked hard tactically, looked at where they went wrong, see if they can eradicate any of those problems, and first of all, to get a reaction today against Hearts.
Well, Hamilton have not won any of their last 8 games, which puts them at the bottom of the Premiership form guide. They've conceded 3 or more goals in 6 of those recent games, including that awful 4 against League 2 Annan in the Cup. Here's their player-manager, Martin Canning, with Luke.
Martin, what gives you the confidence you can bounce back from midweek?
I think the fact we've beaten Hearts here earlier in the season, so we need to make sure we've got the same belief, same determination, same attitude as that day, and we've proved that we can do it. Obviously, through the week was a sore one. We've analysed it and we've moved on from it, so we need to make sure today the response is good.
Were you tempted to play yourself today?
Yeah, well, I've obviously thought about it, but I think the guys that played against St Johnstone up there last week, obviously we kept a clean sheet, the first in a while, and they were excellent on the day, so hopefully today they can go and replicate that.
How do you stop a rampant Hearts team?
Yeah, obviously they're a good side as well. We need to make sure we're aggressive, we're physical, we get in their face and we press them as well as we can, and show that desire to go and try and get a result.
All the best.
Cheers, thank you.
He's only played twice this season. Should he have picked himself?
I think he should have thought about it.
Well, he did.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think more seriously as well, because sometimes it's difficult being a player manager. Alex Neil did it fantastically well, but if you notice, he played a lot of games, Alex Neil. So when you're coaching and you're managing from the side, the best place to do it, if you can be there, is on the pitch. And he's out there just now, obviously not in a strip, but if you're on the pitch and you can physically drag people around and And I'm no doubt he would take part in training. And when you're in training situations, you can almost be right beside someone and as I said, physically move people. So I'm pretty sure he would have thought long and hard about it. He decided not to even name himself. But this squad now have a responsibility to stop the goals first and foremost, but start doing something on the opposite end of the pitch. He spoke about being aggressive, spoke about being concentrated, and they'll have to be that and more today against Hearts.
Hearts, of course, scored 6 goals last week. Gavin Riley was among the goals. Why is he now keeping Juanma, who's got 9 Premiership goals, out of the team?
I think he offers a lot more than Juanma at this present moment, and I'm delighted for him. Gavin Riley is not the most outwardly confident boy, and I think he struggled a little bit going to Hearts because Hearts are a massive club, massive fan base. They lost the boy Keaton, who was a goal scorer. They maybe thought Gavin was going to come in and score those goals. At Queen's, I really liked him, and I think now he's finally shown the Hearts fans, Robbie Neilson, that he's a good player. He's a good foil for Osman Sow, and he maybe doesn't do an awful lot of more running all round, but it's explosive running, it's a high intensity running it does. He's shorter bursts over small yardages, put people under pressure. Look at Osman Sow just coming into the picture on the right hand side there. That's not a burst, but Riley provides that. He's a good all-round team player, and now he's getting goals, he's getting assists, and as I said, I think he's just a nuisance factor. That's a poor header, but look at his little burst of acceleration to win the penalty, and of course he stood up and scored it himself. So I'm delighted for the kid. That will add confidence to his game, and as I said, I think he's become an all-round team player, and I think that's something that Hearts have built their season on, is that team ethic. And it's not any real stars, that it's a collective nature, and that's why they're sitting third on the table.
Well, let's hear what his head coach Robbie Neilson thinks about him and Hearts' chances this afternoon. He's with Luke.
Robbie, how do you replicate last week's performance and result?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. We had a great performance last week and scored a lot of goals, but you always try and replicate it and hopefully start the game well and entertain the fans.
Can you take advantage of Hamilton's woes of late?
Yeah, they've had a difficult period, but it's always a different game down here. We came here early in the season, we get beat. Aberdeen drew down here, so we all know it's a difficult venue to come to, and it's a different style of football you have to play.
We've been talking about Hearts' options and Gavin Riley back in of late, scoring goals as well. How nice is that to have that problem about fitting everyone in? Yeah, it's great. It's a good problem to have. It's one that every manager wants. Gavin's come in and done fantastically well. Stays in the team again today, and we've got one on the bench who has had a great season so far, but has to just bide his time and be patient. Has Gavin brought anything different to the team? He's just brought energy and pace and power. The players love him. When he goes and presses the ball, they all press behind him, which makes a big difference to the team. Good luck. Thank you.
Yes, and Gavin Riley is one of the reasons that Hearts are now the second highest goal scorers in the Premiership. Now, the last time these sides drew a game here in Hamilton was at the old Douglas Park back in 1933. So history and current form then hints at the goals in this one next. Well, Hearts' next 3 games are live here on Sky Sports. Inverness on Saturday, and then the Derby and the Cup the following week. First up, it's Hamilton. Well, Hamilton have had this massive problem, losing 8-1 at Celtic Park. Having looked at the formation, Neil, do you think they've chosen attack as the best form of defence?
It's a very aggressive formation, isn't it? A 3-4-3, which I like. Looking at how Hearts go a 4-4-2. Now, I fully expect the front 3 of Hamilton to play quite narrow. And that being is that there'll be loads of little balls will get in between the line of the midfield of Hearts' flat 4. So I think Hamilton right away will look to puncture that flat 4 and get at Hearts. I expect Hearts to come out really fast though, because if a team just conceded 8 goals, they're vulnerable. So they must combat that well. The wide boys and then will come in and it'll make up a 5 when not in possession of the ball. But Martin Cannon has to get a reaction from the players. He's been aggressive, he's been quite brave in the formation. It's up to them now.
Tactically, from what we know about Hearts this season, do you think that will work against Hearts?
I don't know, because one thing that Hearts do is work ever so hard. We spoke about young Riley's work rate up top, but so they press the ball aggressively up top, and everybody gets a bite off of that and go and work behind it. They're organised. They're always organised. On this surface, the one thing that Robbie's got as well in his favour, he has a 3G. Surface up at Riccarton where they train, so they've been on that all week, so the surface won't be a problem to Hearts. But these Hearts fans have continued to turn out and back their team. They're quite incredible. I've played in front of them myself, and it is a real pleasure. It's a big club, and the season they're enjoying at the minute is down to hard work, not only from the team and everybody behind the scenes, but the fans as well. And I really look forward to the game because I think what we'll get is a good football game. The conditions are difficult because they're windy, the pitch is greasy, but there's big stakes to play for. Hearts are going for Aberdeen in second position, and Hamilton have their own agenda ahead to try and jump away from that relegation zone.
Well, the big fella left there, Michael McGovern, conceded 8 on Tuesday. He's off to the Euro 16 finals with Northern Ireland. It's a big performance required from him today. Apparently he was fantastic at Celtic Park despite conceding 8, so it says it all about them. Hamilton